we're doing today. Good evening, welcome to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Your host here, Mike Mose, the Race Doctor with California Raceway Video. Your host here along with Steve Hoffmaster and Jeff Christensen. And on tap here tonight, of course, we have the late models, the legends, the midgets, the USAC midgets and the USAC TQ midgets. A lot of racing on tap here this afternoon. About 102 out right now, real warm, a gentle breeze coming through and it feels real good. We caught the old master himself here running the number 31 car, Wally Pancratz. Wally, nice to see you.
It's nice to be here.
I tell you what, an excellent ride indeed. Pick up the Hank Butcher car. How'd that transpire?
Well, Ed and I've been kind of running together for the last year, and I run my car, and when my car's down, I run his car, and we live close together, and we kind of, just kind of combine our fortunes and try and do that. And Hank Butcher used to drive this car, and I'm as old as Butcher, so the car seems to be happy with us older guys in it.
Well, I tell you what, we're all in the same age group then, by golly, for sure. Currently you're sitting third in the points chase. Last race out down in Paris, you picked up a third. That was a nice outing for you.
Yeah, we just kind of hung on. I don't think we were much of a threat, but we just kind of drove around, and all of a sudden we were there at the end. And, a lot of times that's what you got to do in racing, And we were happy with the third, and the last time we ran pavement with this particular car, we started 12th and finished third, so another third. And so we're kind of confident if we qualify a little better, maybe we'll have a better finish tonight.
How'd the track feel out there too tonight, Wally?
Oh, it felt good. It's a little greasy because it's hot, but it's the same racetrack for everybody, so that doesn't seem to, that won't come into play. We all have to deal with it.
You mentioned age there a little bit. Pankratz's name's been around for a long time. How many years you been out campaigning, Wally?
Oh, since the early 70s, and my dad raced in the 40s and built cars through the 50s, and so the name's been around for a while.
Well, that generation just keeps on moving down. Of course, your daughter, Randy Pancratz, out there running. She's been running TQs for a long time. And then up in Quincy here a couple of weeks ago, the third time into a sprint car, she took a little flip. How's she doing?
Oh, she's fine. I mean, it's all part of the deal. She just was kind of running a little too close to the fence, I guess, and hooked the cushion a little bit, and it turned her over. But she was worried the car owner was upset, but the car owner felt it was his fault somehow. So she's got a pretty good deal there.
As a parent, what do you feel like now looking out there? You see your offspring running around, and all of a sudden you see them in the air going end over end. What does that feel like inside of you? Do you endure that okay with all your experience, or is that still upsetting?
Well, obviously you don't like to see it, but you just kind of watch and make sure, even when you're watching your buddies, right, that they're hanging on the steering wheel. If they're hanging on the steering wheel, you pretty know they're okay. If they flop around, then you got to worry. And I don't obviously want her to get hurt by any means, but she wants to do this, and she's well aware of what can happen to her. So it's just part of the deal. Kind of
living on the edge, if you will.
Well, I guess so. That's a pretty romantic way of saying it. I'm not much of a wild guy, and she's pretty low key. She works for UPS. You can't be wild and work for UPS. They throw you away instantly.
That's exactly right. But I'll tell you what, Wally, we're going to mosey on through the pits, though. We wish you the best in that 31 car. Go out and kick some booty.
Well, I'll try. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wally Pancratz, number 31 car. We'll see you in the winner's circle. What do you think?
Well, that's what we came for. It's 102. Why else would we come?
Then we'll see you on a crap table later.
Now I got to go right home.
Thanks, Wally. Appreciate it, my man. We'll look back here at that number 31 car. Trent Shoring Company sponsored ride. All right, traveling through the pits here, we found the number 96 car, Bobby Boone. Bobby, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I tell you what, nice to see you here. Notice you got 2 cars in your stable here tonight, TQ and a full-size midget. What's the story?
Well, we just finished the midget, so we decided to bring it out and see how it runs.
Of course, Larry Brown putting that car together, one of the TCR performance machines. And then your chassis in the TQ, is that also TCR?
No, that's a Dennis Hart built car.
Dennis Hart, all right. So this first night for the full-size midget?
Yeah, we practiced with it last night and got going pretty good with it, but we're still having a little motor problem, but we'll get it worked out.
I'll tell you what, you made a nice outing last time down in Bakersfield, finishing up second at that race, and you had a win at Bakersfield also, your 5th in a points chase. What's the track feel like for you today?
It feels pretty good. We were finding a little bit of a loose car, but we got that fixed, and we should be good for qualifying.
Now, you know, when it gets a little loose, of course, out here right now, the heat's up a little bit, track a little greasy. Do you change compounds of your tires, or you just play with air pressure?
You can't really change compounds because they have a spec tire, but we usually just play with the air pressure and the tire width.
How long you been running the TQs, Bobby?
This is my 8th race.
8th race, unbelievable. I tell you what, kind of a natural shoe. Racing experience prior to TQs?
Yeah, I raced quarter midgets when I was like 4, and then I had a junior dragster when I was 8, and then we raced go-karts for like 2 years.
Get on down with your bad self. Hell, you've been on a track for years then.
Yeah, we've been on a track for a while.
Out of all your racing, of course, first night actually under competition in a midget, which one do you prefer out of all of that racing experience?
I like driving the midget the most. It's the fastest and it's the hardest to drive.
What do you aspire here in the next coming years? What are you, around 18, 19 now?
I'm 16 right now, but we just try to run a lot and just try to get my name out, so hopefully something will come up.
There you go. Someday in the near future, look for Indy Lights, or even maybe a Winston Cup. What do you think?
Anything would be nice. I'd just like to drive race cars.
There you go. Appreciate you, Bobby Boone. I tell you what, good luck. You're going to run both divisions tonight?
We'll qualify the TQ and run the TQ heat. We'll run the whole TQ race, and then we'll probably just qualify the midget and start the main. And if it's running in the main, we'll run the main.
Excellent. We'll look for you in the winner's circle. Bobby Boone, the number 96 Cars. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
7. Next car out to qualify in car number 31, the Trent Shoring Empire Asphalt Stay-Right sponsored midget. Driver out of Orange, California, Wally Pankratz behind the wheel. Time for Wally Pankratz is 16.441. Ageless wonder, 51-year-old Wally Pankratz, former super modified champion behind the wheel of that race car. Looking at the checkered flag this time around. And 61 one-thousandths of a second faster. Second lap time, 16.380. 16.380 goes into the computer. Driving the Esslinger Engineering TCR Performance Great American Towing Ibach Springs Fuel Safe sponsored midget. Driver hailing from Huntington Beach, California, Ricky Shelton. Ricky Shelton in car number 75. Shelton holds the track record here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway's 3/8 mile paved oval. Set on the 9th of February this year. 16.127 the record. His first lap 16.258 on that cold track in February. I was here to watch Ricky Shelton set that one lap time. And very nearly a new track record, 16.135 for Ricky Shelton. Next up on the track to qualify in car number 32, the TRC Transmission sponsored midget of Northridge, California, driver Ron Hazelton. Ron Hazelton looking at the white flag this time around as he exits turn 4, headed back to the line. He stops the timer, 17.295. 17.295 for Ron Hazelton. track to qualify right now, and car number 51, the RNC Motorsports George's Auto Body, Burrito King of Madera, Kuchen Booker Tractor Company, Wayne Stark's Garage, the driver out of Clayton, California, Mark de Beaumont. His first lap time was 16:352. Second lap, 16:171. The Willwood Brakes, Rick's Gateworks, Mercury Tires, Simpson sponsored Midget. Driver out of Simi Valley, California is Rick Hendricks. First lap time for Hendricks is 16.434. 16.434 on the first trip round. He'll make his way through turns 3 and 4, head back to the line. Checkered flag awaits Rick Hendricks in car number 12. 16.179 for Rick Hendricks. That's third quick time. Next up on the track in car number 19, the Chandler Ham Construction, Chandler Garage Door Services, U.S. Reynolds sponsored Midget of Manteca, California. Driver, Jim Silva, and as I said, Manteca, he spun it over in turn number 4 and appreciably faster than the first. Checkered flag. 17.680. Scott Hansen in car number 33. Looks at the green flag from the USAC starter. He trips the timer and is on his way. Slides through turns 1 and 2 some, heads down back straightaway on the gas. Up almost to the tires there at the track exit, takes the white flag. 16.540 the first lap time for Scott Hansen in the 33. Second lap time of 16.649. Richard McCormick. 16.911 his first lap time. These race cars running on asphalt and dirt as well. This series in the western states running about 3/4 of the time on dirt. And you can hear Don Dayton say 16.846. That is the qualifying time. Back to the line. 16.589 the first lap time for Screeton in car number 45. Looking at the checkered flag coming out of turn number 4. Second lap time upcoming. Driver out of Encino, California, Shane Scully. Shane Scully in car number 56. First lap time for Scully, 16.457. Car number 69. The Seat Services Stealth Garrett sponsored Midget out of Crothers, California. Clay Klepper, the driver. And 16.289 his first lap time. That's the 4th fast time of the session for the driver of car number 69. We have a new track record. Clay Kleppers, 15.878, the second lap time for the driver of car number 69. Coretta, California native Clay Klepper eclipses the 1-lap record of Ricky Shelton. Next up on the track in car number 67, driving the Zarunian Cadillac Oldsmobile. Make that Zarunian Cadillac Oldsmobile. Sponsored midget driver out of Madera, California, Chad Nichols. His first lap time of 16.582. Driver who qualified second quickest in the 3/4 midgets behind the wheel of car number 96, the Pennzoil. Special thanks to Barbara and Vern Boone and Jim Sherry and Sherry Nicholson sponsored midget out of Palmdale, California, Bobby Boone. He takes a 1-lap qualifying time of 18.181. That was his first time in a midget race car. Cars off the track. The cars making their way through turns 3 and 4 behind the lead of Cindy Gaskins in car number 11. They reach the acceleration stripe looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Working their way through the gears headed towards turn number 1. Cindy Gaskin leads the field through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Tyree Brown on the move looking to the outside of Gaskins headed towards turn number 3. He's going to set himself up on the right rear of the 11 cars. They head back to the line. It'll be a drag race. Cindy Gaskins and Tyree Brown, Rob Mason, Doug Davenport, the 4 cars in the field. Tyree Brown making the move to the outside of Cindy Gaskins, headed down the back straightaway, accelerating, and Rob Mason, the fast qualifier, loops it over out of turn number 2, saves that vehicle and is back underway. And now Gaskins loops it over in turn 3 as Tyree Brown rockets past the start-finish line, followed by Doug Davenport, Rob Mason, and Cindy Gaskins, who started on the pole. Her first trophy dash. Dreams are dashed for getting to Victory Circle. And Tyree Brown, semi-pro driver, looking for the white flag this time around. Tyree, by the way, the son of Joe Brown, who has a street named after him here in Las Vegas. I've driven it many times. Did not quite make the connection until I met Joe Brown a couple of weeks ago. Now watching his son Tyree race. And Tyree races out of turn number 4, heading back to the line. Checkered flag for Tyree. Tyree Brown in car number 32. Then Doug Davenport, Rob Mason, and Cindy Gaskins. Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. She was in her first trophy dash tonight, driving car number 11, the Mission Industries Legends machine. And that's the first trophy dash of the evening. Tyree Brown will pull it back. Now he's going to go down back into the pit area and wait to come out for our trophy presentation. A trophy dash in the last year that Dick Cobb has not made, Larry.
I think you're right, Curtis. As we were talking last week, he had not finished a main event less than second place until last Saturday night.
4 fast race cars coming out of turn number 4, headed to the line. Green flag flies. 2 by 2, they go down into turn number 1. They're going to sort things out as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Sonny Wall assumes the lead down the back straightaway. Sonny Wall driving a very fast race car tonight. 3rd fastest qualifier, leads him back to the line. First lap leader, Sonny Wall, then Jerry Spilsbury, Ray Hooper Jr., and Mike Ray. Look at Mike Ray. He dives down to the inside, trying to get a line out of turn number 2 to the inside of Spilsbury. Spilsbury holds on to his race line. Ray Hooper Jr. making the move to the outside of Spilsbury, trying to claw up to second spot on the racetrack, but it's Sonny Wall by about 2 car lengths over Ray Hooper Jr., Jerry Spilsbury, who falls back into 3rd spot, and Mike Ray. Mike Ray, by the way, last night out practicing the Southwest Tour machine at Pangonis Racing for the upcoming September race. He's down to the inside of Jerry Spilsbury looking for a 3rd spot, but it's Sonny Wall in control. Then Ray Hooper Jr., Mike Ray now in third spot, and Jerry Spilsbury. So Mike Ray looking to get a position on the white flag lap. Out of turn number 3 and 4 comes the race leader. It'll be Sonny Wall looking at the checkered flag for the first time this season. Sonny Wall, the winner, finishing second, Ray Hooper Jr., then Mike Ray, the defending champion, and rounding out the field, Jerry Spilsbury. The cars in the field, the number 3 machine of J.J. Irksey. Outside of Irksey is the 88 of Ron Wade. Inside of row number 2. Bobby Boone in the 96 and the 56 of Alex Harris. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 3/4 midgets on the racetrack. The 56 of Alex Harris gets up alongside the 88 machine of Ron Wade. As they come back to the line, it'll be your fast qualifier leading the field. The 88 machine of Wade running in second spot. In third spot, the number 96 of Bobby Boone, so Bobby Boone runs third. And then the 3 machine of J.J. Irksey. They lined up single file coming out of turn number 4, headed back to the line for the second time. Still your fast qualifier, Alex Harris in front. In second spot with a little wiggle there, headed into turn number 1, the 88 of Ron Wade. Wade falling back some with the rest of the field as they motor down the back straightaway. The white flag being displayed to the field as they come by this time. It's still Alex Harris, then the 88 of Ron Wade, running in first and second. In third spot, the 96 of Bobby Boone. Bobby Boone holds on to third spot ahead of the number 03 of J.J. Irksey. They come back to the line. Double cross checkered for the race winner. Winning the trophy dash, Alex Harris. Harris behind the wheel of the West Valley Grinding sponsored 3/4 midget, TQ for short. Finishing second, the 88 of Ron Wade, the JC Performance sponsored TQ. And the third spot goes to the 96 of Bobby Boone, rounding out the field, the 03 of J.J. Irksey. Lights out on the Chevrolet Camaro pace car. Let's see what these midgets have for the fans here in Las Vegas as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Head back to the start-finish line. All eyes on the tower. The USAC flagman throws the green flag. We're racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Rick Hendricks leads them through turns 1 and 2. They bunch up, looking to the inside as he dives through traffic, slicing his way towards turn number 3. The number 12 machine of Hendricks. Hendricks coming back to the line. He'll make it a show at the line. Clay Klepper, the race leader at the line in car number 69. Klepper challenged on the outside down the back straightaway by the 51 of de Beaumont. De Beaumont leads the field. He's way up high coming out of 4. Back to the line, it's Klepper, de Beaumont, the 12 machine of Hendricks, and Shelton rounding out the field. They'll race 2x2 out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The 12 machine of Hendricks. Rick Hendricks down on the inside. As they come back to the line, they'll get the white flag this time around. At the line, it's the 69 of Klepper. The 51 machine of de Beaumont. Klepper and de Beaumont battling it out for the top spot in this race. Down the back straightaway, de Beaumont making a move to the outside, but it's Klepper down on the inside. He'll beat de Beaumont back to the line. Klepper, the race winner, fast qualifier, and winner of the Trophy Dash night. So it's a great night so far for Clay Klepper in car number 69. Klepper behind the wheel of the Seed Services Stealth Gert-sponsored midget on his way down to Victory Circle.
We're down here in the Victory Circle with a young gentleman that did quite a job. Clay Klepper, you ready to go for more?
Yeah, this track here in Las Vegas is pretty good, and this was actually my first asphalt race in February. This is barely my 5th asphalt race, so I kind of like it here.
So you're going to be back for more, I understand.
Yeah, I think we were scheduled to come back on the 23rd from Indianapolis to run at the dirt track, and they rescheduled it, so we're going to come back on the 18th, so hopefully we'll do pretty good on that too.
Congratulations, you had a great field, and these cars are so neat. I love seeing you guys come to town.
Yeah, they're pretty fast on this track. It seems it's a lot faster than it seems, and I got to really thank Bob Hartman, Seed Services Incorporated, and Santa Fe Farms, and my brother and my brother-in-law, and everybody that's helped out on the crew and the team because the car's working good.
Well, go back to the pits, take your trophy, and come back and see us.
Thanks a lot.
All right, here we go. Down here, we're going to go see this fella first before we head down the other road. We did an interview with you in the pits not long ago, but congratulations for being in the victory circle for this thing right here. But tell everybody out here that was here last week, we saw you third in the standings at the end, and all of a sudden your name was gone, Sonny Wall. What happened?
We got disqualified for too much compression. It's kind of a bad luck deal. We had some problems with the motor, and we had to take the heads off, and we screwed up and put the wrong head gasket on it, and that's what happens.
But you know, I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he really took it like a man. He didn't raise Cain, he didn't scream and yell, whatever like that. He just said, well, that's the brakes, we'll be back next week.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, so like I said before, we'll just come out here and try and make up for it this week.
Well, I'll see you back here later. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Okay, Sonny Wall. Here we go to Sonny Wall, and we're going to go over here and not get in the way of anybody. We got a TQ guy here, I believe. Mr. Alex Harris? That true? Boy, TQ, and TQ's got a little power. You did a job.
Yeah, Swiss Valley Grind Stealth Vesco Suzuki is just running awesome tonight. We came here, the car was just great out of the trailer.
You know how to plug those sponsors. They taught you good in that in 101, didn't they?
Sure did.
How do you like this track in Vegas and everything? It's I was talking to Ricky Shelton a little while ago in the pits, and he said the heat is going to be tough on our brakes. He said it's a challenge.
Yeah, on the Midgets, it's a little bit different with their brakes. They go through it a lot faster. TQ, it's not so bad. It can run in hard for full 20 laps.
Well, it's good to see you in Las Vegas. We always love seeing you get here, and maybe we'll see you a little later, huh?
Sure will.
All right, back to you. Oh, one more. We got Tyree. I can't forget this guy. Here's the world's fastest lawnmower rider, huh? Tyree Brown.
Well, I passed up the finish line because thanks to Kurt Busch being out of town, I'm not used to coming down here. So I'd like to thank Russ Tech, Rob Russell, set up the car. It's perfect. And Sundial Garden Landscape. Thanks.
You know, Bobby Rupert was saying over in the pits there a little while ago, he says, you know, I weigh 240 pounds. Kurt Busch weighs about, what, 140 maybe? You don't weigh much more than that, I don't think. Weight's a big factor here. I mean, you got a big old brute trying to chase you down.
I think it's whoever sets up your car. Rob Russell setting up my car is the ticket.
You know, one final note before we go, ladies and gentlemen. You guys been around this town a long time, Joe Brown Drive and that sort of thing. Your family's been here forever, haven't they?
They sure have since '68.
Well, from 1968 to here, and I think we're about done with everybody. Now we're back to you.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Again, congratulations to all the Trophy Dash winners. Trophy Dash winners getting their photograph taken with our trophy girl, Jamie Shapira.
Actually, I brought Frankie and Louie from the Lizards.
Frankie and Louie, the Budweiser Lizards, will be out here tonight. They could have been huge, but they're with us tonight instead of on the national media tour. The green flag flies. This is our first heat race in the Legends division. As they race out of turn number 2, the race leader, Chris Klein, 16-year-old Chris Klein behind the wheel of that race machine, leads the field through turns 3 and 4, headed back to the line. Chris Klein will be the leader of record for lap number 1. Stony Gray closing in on the number 2 machine. Chris dives down to the inside as Greg Albright pulled up on the inside of his race machine. Down the back straightaway they go, headed toward turn number 3. It'll still be Chris Klein. The battle for second between Sean Butt in car number 11. The 55 of Greg Albright and Stony Gray, won by Stony Gray at the line. They'll run 3 wide down to turn number 1, turn number 2. So that gang of 3 coming up behind the youngster in car number 2, surging, is Sean Butt in the 11 and Greg Albright in the 55. They head back to the line as Sean Butt loops it out of turn number 4. Albright makes the move to the outside of Chris Klein in the 2 as they motor through turns 1 and 2, head towards the back straightaway. It'll be Albright battling with Chris Klein for the race lead, headed towards turn number 3. Sean Butt back underway, gathers the car together, and Chris Klein gets together with the number 55 of Greg Albright, and Stony Gray comes out the worst in the situation as he comes up to hit the 55 of Albright, loses the right front tire, so a bad break for the points leader in semi-pro Legends Racing. He's okay and has gathered himself together. Very disappointed. Stony Gray had nowhere to go, coming up on top of Greg Albright, very disgusted as he throws his gloves into the race car. The NASCAR Racing Action sponsored legend is Stony Gray with the track safety crew field being led by Greg Haas towards the acceleration stripe, looking for the green flag from the flag stand. And the green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Leads him down that back straightaway in turn number 4. Got a good start on that green flag. But here comes Tyree Brown in the number 32 car. As I told you before, he's their Trophy Dash winner. He's moved that machine up into second place right now and looking to cut down on some real estate that's been developed by Haas. So Brown on the chase down the back straightaway in turn 3.
Haas running in the top spot in the field. It rounds out of turn number 4, heads back to the line. Tyree Brown in the 32 machine looks to catch Haas on this lap as they make their way down to turn number 1. It's Haas, Tyree Brown, but Tyree Brown has made up all the ground, moves to the outside of the 66 machine of Greg Haas, and Tyree Brown's going to challenge for the lead as they head towards turn number 3.
Tyree Brown brings them out of turn number 4 down to the front straightaway in the lead of this 8-lap heat race in the Legend car division. So Tyree Brown leading the free field, Greg Haas in second place.
Tyree Brown has about 5/5/8 of a car length lead over the 66 of Haas, and then Greg Albright in the 55 as they come around. This time the white flag flies for the field. The last lap for this first heat race in the Legends division being led by Tyree Brown. Greg Haas running in second spot. Then the 55 of Greg Albright. Back in fourth spot, the 96 of Ralph Pangonis Jr. Then Sean Butt in the 11 machine. The checkered flag being displayed. And now the taking the checker is Tyree Brown. So the Trophy Dash winner, also the first heat race winner, as Albright was coming around in third spot. He spun out of turn number 4 and will round out the field as they cross the start-finish line, finishing in third spot, the number 11 machine of Sean Butt. Then Ralph Pangonis Jr. in fourth, the 97 of Ed Beebe, then the 98 of Clay Kreitlow being driven tonight by Matt Lutz.
In each one of these races that we'll see out here this evening and in the main event, there's the Masters and actually a beginners division and then semi-pro. So as these drivers,
not a lot of modifications can be made to these race machines. The only difference, the drivers say, is the driver. So you're going to see some Masters and some pro drivers in this race. Jim Page leads them around with Ralph Pangonis on the outside as they come back to the line looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As the sun sets on the western horizon, the drivers looking directly into the sun as they exit turn number 2. Now, the race leader in car number 12 is Robbie Guevara. Robson moving up through the field, occupies second spot, but now being challenged is Robson as the 16 car spins. The second spot belongs to the 21 of Doug Davenport. So number 2 and number 16 get together. Make that number 34 and number 16 get together over in turn number 4. We don't want to date Larry too much, but...
tells my age too, Curtis. We've all been around auto racing here in Southern Nevada for a lot of years.
Larry... The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This Legends field back underway after the restart. As the cars bunch up down into turn number 1, sort things out. Rob Mason getting shuffled to the back. Ralph Pangonis holding on to his line down the back straightaway. It's a drag race now between Jim Page and Ralph Pangonis. But look at Robbie Guevara. He dodged a bullet as he came around down to the inside of the race leaders. Rob Guevara lead lap number 1, then Bob Wilsford, Ralph Pangonis, and Jim Page, the top 4 in the field. They're going to run full line through turns 1 and 2. Bobby Rupert down on the inside in car number 47 running alongside the 34 machine of Don Rager. Rager holds on to his line about halfway through the turn, running in that first groove, but the race leader flashes by ahead of Bob Woodsford in the 77. Robbie Guevara shortening up the track. Some gets down with his tires almost on the white stripe down between turn 1 and 2. He'll lead the field through turns 3 and 4. He's got about a 2-second lead on the race field as they come back to the line. Rob Guevara, Bob Woodsford, the number 7 of Rob Mason, and Jim Page in the 17 loops it and gathers it back up to fall in behind the 16 of Brian Robson. The car's stretched out now about halfway around this 3/8 mile paved oval. Fans in the stands enjoying the sunset. Race cars on the track. Robbie Guevara flashes past the start-finish line. Rob Mason battling for second spot. Owns second spot at the line over the 77 of Bob Woodsford. But Bobby Rupert on the move in car number 47. He's got third spot on the track. Sewed up over the 77 of Woodsford. Don Rager running in fifth spot, being chased by Ralph Pangonis in the 95. Rob Guevara comes by again for the fourth time. 8 laps in this heat race. These race cars running primarily on pavement here in Las Vegas. Again, we'll see them on dirt throughout the country, but exclusively on pavement. A lot of the drivers don't like to get these machines muddy. Rob Mason now assumes the race lead as he passed Robbie Guevara. Robbie Guevara must have developed some kind of problem with that race car because he's falling back off the pace. The number 34 machine driven by Robert Wilhite tonight. Robert Wilhite in car number 34, we're told. The white flag comes out for the race leader, Rob Mason in car number 7. Then Bobby Guevara, who looks like he might be missing on one or two of the cylinders in that motorcycle engine. Coming up on the back end of Guevara is Bobby Rupert. Bobby Rupert's going to steal second spot on the last lap of this race. Checker flag being shown to the race leader as he comes back to the line. Checker flies for Rob Mason, finishing in second spot. Bobby Rupert, third goes to Bobby Guevara, then fourth to Bob Woodsford. Robert Wilhite finishing fifth in this race. And rounding out the field in sixth spot is Ralph Pangonis. Brian Robson in the 16th, 7th. The 21 machine of Doug Davenport. And rounding out the field, the 17 of Jim Page. And in the Kenny Rogers Roasters Pontiac outside of row 2. And then Robert Furry in the Ken Burkett's Johnny Martin sponsored Ford Thunderbird. He's in row number 3 all by himself, but keep your eye on the field, looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Late models on the track. They'll run 2x2 down into turn number 1. Brent Bell looking to the inside of Bill Roberts as they motor down the back straightaway. Bell on the accelerator hard into turn number 3. Jeff Coleman leads the field coming out of turn number 4 back to the line, but Brent Bell making a surge as he comes past down on the inside of Coleman. Brent Bell stuffs that race car down on the inside of turn number 1 as they head down the back straightaway. Brent Bell drag racing with Jeff Coleman towards turn number 3. Bell's going to try to steal the lead as they come back to the line. It's Brent Bell, Jeff Coleman, and Al Lake in the number 2 machine. Bill Roberts and Robert Furry racing for 4th spot on the track. Al Lake being shuffled back into 3rd spot. Roberts and Furry get together coming out of turn number 2. Furry gathers it up, puts it back, heading towards turn number 3, but Bill Roberts now back underway. Brent Bell leads him to the acceleration stripe as they get back on the gas, looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Brent Bell leads him single file down to turn number 1 as they navigate turns 1 and 2, head to the back straightaway. Bell pulling away from Jeff Coleman. Al Lake in the number 2, Robert Furry up in 4th spot. Bill Roberts running a distant 5th as they come back to the line. It'll be Brent Bell, Jeff Coleman, Al Lake, Robert Furry, and Bill Roberts. Single file past the starter stand. Al Lake looks to the inside of Coleman as the sun sets on the western horizon. Al Lake looking to the inside, trying to get that Kenny Rogers Roasters Pontiac up in 2nd spot on the racetrack. Coleman loses it some in turn number 4. Gets traction back on the rear wheels as Al Lake maneuvers to the inside of the number 10 machine, claims 2nd spot on the racetrack. He'll have to chase down Brent Bell, who's built up a sizable advantage over the rest of the field. As Bell, Al Lake, Jeff Coleman, and Robert Furry at the line. Robert Furry, the rookie late model driver, now challenging Jeff Coleman. Coleman slams the door coming out of turn number 2. Furry back behind Coleman, headed toward 3. Look for Robert Furry to challenge Coleman again as they come around past the start grandstand viewing area. The race leader continues to be Brent Bell in car number 15. He's got about half a straightaway over Al Lake. Jeff Coleman and Robert Furry, the white flag being displayed to the field this time around. Robert Furry holds on to 4th spot over Jeff Coleman. He's going to lay back as they navigate turns 1 and 2, head towards the back straightaway. But Brent Bell all the way into turn number 3, headed out of 4, coming back to the line for the checker. Brent Bell wins heat number 1. Al Lake finishes 2nd. Jeff Coleman is 3rd, with 05 of Robert Furry finishing 4th. And Bill Roberts, who is having some mechanical difficulties with his race machine, rounds out the field. Larry?
Okay, Curtis, on the Stump Joey questions for the kids. You kids have got the answers to these 3 questions. Go take your answers down to the bottom of the tower and register. Test. Stop on down and tell them the answers to those questions down at the bottom of the tower, and they've got some gifts for the winners.
You know, Larry, Joey's not easy to stump, as some fans found out last week. The 1997 points leader in the Western General-sponsored Chevrolet, it's Dick Cobb. Row champion Mike Ray, and Ray Hooper Jr., the fast qualifier of the evening. The field is set. No green flag this time around.
He wasn't running well tonight earlier, so we'll see if he can get the handle on it and get back into racing activity tonight.
The green flag flies as the late model heat number 2 heads it down into turn number 1. Look at Jerry Spilsbury diving down to the inside to try to get an advantage on Bobby Pangonis. Sonny Wall up to 2nd spot on the racetrack as they come back to the line. Bobby Pangonis in 3rd spot, battling it out with Ray Hooper Jr. Hooper Jr. beats him back to the line, so Hooper will hold on to 3rd spot as the cars make their way towards the back straightaway. The champion of many divisions past and the current points leader leading the field. Dick Cobb in front. In 2nd spot, the 26 is Sonny Wall, the up-and-coming young late model race car driver in 2nd spot ahead of the number 70 machine of Ray Hooper Jr. And Jerry Spilsbury gets together coming out of turn number 2 with 96 of Bobby Pangonis. So Pangonis and Spilsbury hooked together nose to nose over in turn number 2. That'll bring out the caution flag for the first time in this heat race. Larry? Sonny Wall, Ray Hooper Jr., Mike Ray, Bobby Pangonis, and Jerry Spilsbury. The field as they get the green flag from the NASCAR starter. Sonny Wall on the bumper of the Western General Chevrolet as they motor down the back straightaway. Sonny Wall just a shade faster than Dick Cobb tonight in qualifying. Wall dives down to the inside, tries to collect Cobb as they come down the front straightaway. Cobb holds his line. Wall gets up on the inside of the number 4 machine as they motor down the back straightaway. Dick Cobb gets up alongside Sonny Wall, or maybe that was Sonny Wall getting up alongside Dick Cobb, but Dick Cobb didn't give up any racetrack to the young race car driver. Back to the line, it's Cobb, Wall, Hooper, Ray, Spilsbury, and Pangonis. Ray Hooper Jr. now up to the inside of the 26 machine. He'll falter out of turn number 2, drop 2 spots as they head towards turn number 3, but it's Cobb back to the line. Bobby Pangonis loops it again over, coming out of turn number 2, headed on the short line towards turn number 3. He turned a little too soon and rests just short of the track safety crews area in the middle of the racetrack. But Dick Cobb continues to lead this race, being challenged on the backside by Sonny Wall, Mike Ray, running 2nd and 3rd, separated by about 6 car lengths. And then Jerry Spilsbury, a comfortable 4th on this 8-lap heat race. Bobby Pangonis holds on to 5th. As the white flag comes out for our late model race cars, it's Dick Cobb, Sonny Wall, Mike Ray, Jerry Spilsbury, and Bobby Pangonis coming out of turn number 4, a distant 5th. They run in single file down the back straightaway, headed towards turn number 3. It's Dick Cobb in control of the race lead, taking the checkered flag. Then Sonny Wall finishing 2nd, Mike Ray's 3rd, Jerry Spilsbury 4th, and coming up to finish 5th is the 96 of Bobby Pangonis. So the Burger King Chevrolet missing a piece of the front fender. Jerry Spilsbury with a pushed-in front fender after that fire incident.
Alex Harris, he has found the setup for this 3/8 mile track, and we look for him to pull the win.
Well, I'm going to put the stopwatch on Harris as we look for the green flag. The cars head to the acceleration stripe. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Oh, Sean Lee with a good jump start up into turn 1, and he gets past quickly. Alex Harris right up front in a big way coming into turn 3 right now. He is your leader. Running 2nd is the number 9 car of Sean Lee. And the number 88 car, of course. Look out, mama, the number 88 car hooked up. Ron Wade currently running 3rd, but he's got his eyes set on the back bumper of Sean Lee as Alex Harris, a good 20 car lengths, out in front.
The number 12 machine of Tabitha Howard pulls it down into the infield, getting a push from the track safety group towards the concrete barriers. But look at him go, car number 56, driven by Alex Harris. He's about half a straightaway in front of the field. Running in second spot, Sean Lee, and then down on the inside, the 88 machine of Ron Wade. Wade's going to make it a race back to the line. Mike?
Wade makes the pass thus far, but going into turn one, it is Wade, Sean Lee back to third. And joining the hunt now, of course, is the number 8 car of Paul Kruger rather. And Kruger right on the back bumper now of Sean Lee.
Kruger holding on to 4th spot back to the line. He thought about 3rd as he came back, flashed past the start-finish line. Running up to the rear end of the number 9 machine of Sean Lee is the 8 driver, Paul Kruger. Kruger dropping back some down the back straightaway. As he come back to the line, the race leader, the number 56 machine of Alex Harris. Then second spot, the 88 of Ron Wade, the 9 machine of Sean Lee. And that's the top 3 in the field. But look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Very competitive are those race car drivers. The 88 of Ron Wade comfortably in 2nd spot. The 9 machine of Sean Lee holding on to his spot on the racetrack. For the driver to watch right now, the number 8 driver, Paul Kruger. Kruger looked like he had a good setup at the beginning of the race. He's in 4th right now, but we'll look to him to close that gap between 3rd and 4th. The white flag out for the race leader as the rest of the field files past single file. It's smooth sailing for the 56 of Alex Harris. We'll see if we can swap some positions as the cars race back to the stripe. Mike?
Harris with the complete straightaway lead coming out of turn 4. Final turn, your winner, Alex Harris. A battle now for second between Wade and Sean Lee. Ron Wade able to hang on for second. Sean Lee third. Paul Kruger 4th. And a left wheel about 14 inches off the ground is the 36 car, West Evans, in the final making out the field, the 52 of Jeff Heaton.
So that's the finishing order in this first heat race in USAC's 3/4 midget division here tonight.
All right, let's get the lineup for a round 2 qualifier. On the pole, the number 87 car out of Harbor City, Ron Arndt. As the lights are out, Arndt sets the pace coming out of turn 4. We go green. Outside front row is the number 2, Greg Edenholm out of Los Angeles. And a side-by-side action into turn 2, Curtis.
Throw the top 4 underneath the blanket. The fading fast is the number 3 machine of J.J. Irksey. Irksey holds on to 5th spot as they come around for the first time. The race leader is the number 2 of Greg Edenholm. In 2nd spot, the 39 of Clay Charleston. Charleston in 2nd spot, but he's going to yield as a faster car comes up to the inside of Edenholm. I can't make out the numbers on the backside. We'll see them as they come back to the flag stand. These cars completing circuits about every 18 seconds on this 3/8.
That is the number 23 car, Chris Odo, and Chris Odo now getting challenged on his backside. Odo, a young driver coming into the TQ Midgets, has done a fine job, currently 3rd on the track.
As the cars flash past the start-finish line, it's Greg Edenholm and the 23 of Chris Odo. Odo holding on to 2nd spot as the cars come out of turn number 2. Lifting up the front wheel was the number... the 96 of Bob Boone. Boone down to the inside of Odo as they come back to the line. Boone cuts off. Odo slams the door on him at the start-finish line. Odo holds his line through turn 1 and 2. Odo will run 3rd out of turn number 2, Mike.
Excellent move, of course, there by Bobby Boone. A real young 16-year-old driver will be doing double duty here tonight in a TQ and later on in a midget, first night out in a midget. Currently holding down that 2nd place behind Greg Edenholm. Oh boy, did he pull the tires off the ground. And of course running 3rd right now, Chris Odo, and he comes right up on the back bumper now.
Odo right back up on the bumper of Boone as they come to the line. Separated by about a car length as they flash into turn number 1 and 2. The race leader coming up on lap traffic dives down to the inside now as he makes his way into 3. Top 3 cars separated by less than 6 car lengths. Back to the line and the white flag. Mike?
White flag action, and down low, of course, Bobby Boone takes a look under Greg Edenholm. Turn 1 action, Boone and Edenholm side by side off turn 2. And Edenholm able to put the hammer down, pulls the lead now going into turn 3.
Edenholm gets real wide, coming out of turn number 4 to the checker, Edenholm and Boone. It's Edenholm at the line, then Boone, the 23 machine of Odo, finishing 4th, the number 36 of West Evans. And we'll go to timing and scoring for positions 5 on back. I believe it was the number 3 of J.J. Irksey finishing 5th.
Exactly. Lights out. We'll be looking for the green this time. Brian Howard looks him over out of turn 4. We're racing.
And the number 33 car sticks it deep into turn 1. Scott Henson. Off turn 2, the horsepower goes down. You can see how quick these guys build up that horsepower.
Averaging about 110 miles an hour down the front straightaway at the line. The number 33 machine of Scott Hansen, your race leader. But keep your eyes on the 69 of Klepper. Klepper's up on the backside of Hansen as they motor out of turn number 2. The yellow flag comes out on the racetrack. Debris in turn 1 is the call from the track safety crew. Mike?
Yeah, you can see it just up on the high side, right out of the racing groove. Looks like possibly a muffler or a piece of the Nerf bar. And that could spell big-time trouble if one of those guys happened to hit it with a tire, or even that low-riding pan that goes underneath the driver's seat.
He's won a number of races, most recently at Bakersfield. Scott Hansen won that 30-lap event. He's in front on the restart. We're under the green flag at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's Hansen and Klepper dueling 1 and 2 on the racetrack. Mike?
I tell you what, nobody got away from anybody thus far. Your leader Hansen sticks it deep into 3, but Klepper's right there, and so is Nichols, and a 4th car just joined the hunt.
Steve Payton made the move around the 21 of Richard McCormick. Payton holding on to 5th spot, looking at the number, looks like 88 machine currently in 1st spot as they come back to the line. That's the 31 machine of Wally Pankratz. Pankratz in 4th, Payton in 5th as they come back to the line. A challenge for the lead. Mike?
Clay Klepper took a look underneath the Hansen as he entered into turn 1, and Klepper is on the move. It appears to be a faster car, but Hansen has the line as they go into turn 3. Hansen and Klepper have broke away from the rest of the field.
Hansen back to the line ahead of Klepper, running in 3rd spot, the 31 machine of Wally Pankratz. Up to 4th, the 0 of Steve Payton. Payton looked at the bumper of Pankratz, got on the brakes real hard coming out of 2. Payton follows single file behind Pankratz. Hansen ahead of the number 69 machine of Klepper back to the line. Klepper now looking to the outside of Hansen as they exit turn number 2, Mike.
Oh boy, a battle going into turn 3. Klepper on the high side. Hansen down low. Klepper makes the pass through the apex of 3 and 4.
At the line, it's Klepper, then Hansen, Pankratz, and Payton. The top 4. Payton looking like he wants to get around Wally Pankratz. He looked down to the inside, then followed Pankratz single file. Hansen in 2nd spot, being caught very quickly by Wally Pankratz. The white flag is out, Mike.
I tell you, Pankratz has got a car working really well here tonight, but look at Payton. Payton makes a challenge underneath of Wally Pankratz, but Clay Klepper stretched it out, and now a battle coming into turn 4.
The checkered flag for Clay Klepper, the winner at the line. A very close call between Hansen and Wally Pankratz. Steve Payton finishing 4th, just ahead of the 51 of Mark de Beaumont. So de Beaumont finishing 5th, ahead of the 21 of Richard McCormick. In the field, ready to go racing. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Oh boy, a big start for the number 7 car. Henneman side by side coming off. No, Henneman pulls it off. Look at that quick acceleration as he puts the hammer down.
Hammer down all the way back to the line for Henneman. Henneman at the line running in top spot. In 2nd spot, the number 12 of Rick Hendricks. Henneman and Hendricks 1st and 2nd, but a number of cars on the backside of Hendricks looking to challenge for a top spot on the racetrack. Mike?
I tell you, 2 by 2 into turn 4. Nobody has broke away as this race is still anybody's game. The number 10 car currently running 2nd is John Capps. Running 3rd as, Hinman jumps way out of the groove. Your new leader to the number 12, Rick Hendricks.
Hendricks in the top spot out of turn number 4 back to the line. The number 10 of Capps running in 2nd. The 75 machine of Ricky Shelton, the points leader, running in 3rd spot. He's all over the back bumper of John Capps. Capps had to deal with Shelton out of turn number 2. Shelton closes the gap into turn number 3. Mike?
Currently running 5th, the black number 3, a Sleepy Trip, trying to get that car hooked up. And right behind him, the number 45 car of Jimmy Screeton. And running 4th, of course, is the 56 car, Shane Scully.
Scully looking into the gap between Shelton and the number 10 machine of John Capps. Shelton takes advantage of Cap's falter, and Scully looks to the inside of Cap's. He's going to steal third spot down the back straightaway. Mike?
It looked like they had a little bit of contact going into turn one, but nobody had any problem with it as Scully now up to third.
Scully looking at Shelton. Shelton about 3 or 4 car lengths in front of Scully. Broken away from the field is the number 12 machine of Rick Hendricks. Hendricks coming back to the line for the white flag. The white flag out from the USAC official tower. It's Shelton running in second spot. Then Scully spins it over in turn number 3. I think I jinxed him, Mike.
Oh boy, tough break. Looks like I went a cool one on that, but we go yellow on the track. So it's not over. We'll bang these guys back up nose to tail. Still give you an opportunity to win that cold one, Kurt.
Well, no matter who wins, we both win, because you know when I go down there, I'm going to grab 2. One for me and one for Mike Mosier, the race doctor up in the tower calling this midget race.
And that's your front 2 point leaders right now, Hendricks. One flag, one lap to go. Oh, Ricky Shelton takes a look underneath Hendricks going into turn 1. Couldn't pull the hammer.
It was crossed green-white at the line. The checkered flag being displayed to Rick Hendricks. He's got his eyes on the tower and the checkered flag at the line. Shelton second, the number 10 machine of John Capps third, and my pick, the 56 machine, back in 6th spot.
Yes, indeed. So you pulled that one off. I tell you what, Ricky Shelton couldn't quite put the mustard on a dog as he looked down into turn 1. Took a look underneath Hendricks, but there's your winner, the number 12, Rick Hendricks.
Lights out on the Chevrolet Camaro pace car. We're about ready to go racing. Driving car number 34, normally Don Rager tonight, Robert Wilhite. The number 11, Sean Butt on the pole, leads him down the back straightaway, headed towards turn number 3. We're going to be looking for the green flag. This is Saturday night racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway's 3/8 mile paved oval. Race cars heading to the acceleration stripe, looking for the green. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The cars thunder down the front straightaway. Mason, Davenport, and Sean Butt make it 3 wide into turn number 1. Butt down on the inside. Mason charging on the outside. Takes the lead down the back straightaway. Wilhite in the number 34 machine. Charging up to the front through traffic. At the line, it's Rob Mason, Sean Butt, Greg Albright, Tyree Brown, and Doug Davenport, the top 5 in the field. Cars stretched out somewhat, about half a straightaway, separating positions 1 through 10. As Mason rolls through turns 3 and 4, heads back to the stripe. He's got the rest of the field by about a second at the stripe. Running in second, Sean Butt, then Greg Albright, Tyree Brown, Doug Davenport. They continue to be the top 5. Some positions being swapped, positions 5 on back. Look at Robbie Guevara. He's on the move, racing Robbie up on to the bumper of the 21 machine of Davenport. Bob Rupert charging. He's got 5th spot on the racetrack as the race cars come back to the line. It's still Rob Mason and now Greg Albright running in second over Tyree Brown. Sean Butt and Bob Rupert in a battle for 4th spot down the back straightaway. 25 laps in this main event.
So somebody had just mentioned it's going to be quite a different event tonight without Kurt Busch running out front, Curtis. So right now we get the number 7 with Bob Mason. He really made a move from about the 3rd row back to jump in that lead right from the very get-go.
Well, Rob Mason picked up where Kurt Busch left off. He leads this field. He's put some distance on the 55 of Albright and Tyree Brown. He races down the back straight about half a second ahead of Albright in the 55. Tyree Brown looks to the outside of Albright as they come out of turn number 4, headed back to the line. And Sean Butt loops it over in turn number 4. He's backed up against the wall. No damage to the body of the race machine, but that brings out the first caution in this race. Larry, engine on his race car got pushed back, the frame bent, and the wheel pushed into the engines, but everything else is okay, and he'll be back to racing. The green flag flies, and we are back to racing. Number of laps down in this event, 25 laps total. Mason leads him out of turn number 2, followed closely by Albright in the 55 and Tyree Brown. Those cars locked together. Now Tyree Brown closing on Albright as they navigate turns 3 and 4 back to the line. Beebe goes high out of 4, coming back to the stripe. But the car stretched out single file except for Wilhite, who's looking to take 5th spot away from Doug Davenport in the 21. Wilhite drops back as the cars enter 3 and exit turn number 4. Back to the line, it's Mason, Albright, Brown, Rupert, and Davenport, the top 5. Larry?
And it looks like Tyree Brown making up a little bit of real estate lap after lap in the number 32 machine. As they go down that back straightaway. He seems to drive it in a little deeper into the corners. And there's Albright spins it coming out of turn number 3. And we got another couple of cars back there, Curtis, that also spun. But we're under yellow again in this 25-lap main event. I think we got 7 laps down.
I think Albright caught Doug Davenport by surprise. Davenport, who does a 360 down at the apex of turn 3 and 4, gets back underway. The Chevrolet pace car picks up the race leader, Rob Mason,
as they get ready to go for a restart in this 25-lap main event in the Legend Car division.
Well, the number 7 machine of Mason stretches him out. The cars didn't get a chance to bunch up, so the starter holds the green flag as the race field winds its way down the back straightaway. It's still Rob Mason, Tyree Brown, Bobby Rupert, Wilhite, that is, in the number 34, and Robbie Guevara, the top 5. Top 5 separated by less than half a straightaway as the cars wind down through turns 1 and 2. Tyree Brown looks to the outside of Rob Mason, who dodged a bullet that time. Tyree Brown had a full head of steam going as he came up alongside of Rob Mason. Mason saw him coming in his right side mirror and slid over to block his view. Now the 21 of Davenport gets together with Ralph Pangonis Jr. in the 96 over in turn number 3 and 4. Both cars back underway, but Ralph Pangonis Sr. down in the infield in the 95. Now he's back underway as well. So that'll bring out the second caution in this race. Mason, Brown, Rupert, Wilhite, and Guevara, the top 5 in the field as they enter turn 3, head towards turn 4. We're looking for the green flag. The green flag flies again over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mason gets a jump on Tyree Brown. I don't think he caught him sleeping. I think that Mason's got that car dialed in tonight. Brown accelerating down the back straightaway, closing the gap between himself and Mason. Entering turn number 3, Tyree Brown now separated by about a car length as they come back to the stripe. It's Mason, Brown, Rupert, Wilhite, and Guevara. Guevara up to the inside of Wilhite, looking to challenge Wilhite, but Wilhite's going to go to the outside of Bobby Rupert. Rupert is going to give away 3rd spot as he fades and now dives down into turn number 3. Wilhite collects Rupert. Rupert's going to make it a race back to the stripe. Wilhite will have 3rd spot, Rupert 4th, Guevara in 5th, but Guevara's going to follow Wilhite on the outside, look to take away 4th spot from Bobby Rupert. But now Tyree Brown making a move on the outside of Rob Mason. Mason follows in behind Tyree Brown. Tyree Brown now the race leader. Field getting the signal. They've reached the halfway point of this 25-lap main event, completing 12 laps, working on number 13 this time around. Tyree Brown extending his lead over Mason, pulling away from the 7 machine down into turn number 3. Back to the stripe comes Tyree Brown, followed by Rob Mason. In the number 34 machine, it's Robert Wilhite. Wilhite running in 3rd spot. Then Robbie Guevara in 4th. Bobby Rupert is 5th on the track. And the 6th machine of Greg Haas, he runs in 6th. He's got his sights set on the 47 of Bobby Rupert. Top 6 in the field break away from the rest. In 7th spot, the number 55 of Greg Albright. The number 98 of Matt Lutz runs in behind Albright. Albright holds on to 7th, Lutz in 8th. Then the 16 machine of Al Russell holds on to 8th spot behind the number 98 of Matt Lutz, and Bob Woodsford right behind the 16. But the battle in the field right now between Chris Klein and Doug Davenport. Klein making the move on the outside to get past Davenport. Davenport spun earlier, maybe having some trouble with that number 21 machine. But Chris Klein moves to the outside, tries to pass the Prestige Cigar Company sponsored Legend of Davenport. Makes the pass coming through turns 3 and 4 back to the stripe. The race leader, Tyree Brown, about Oh, I'd say 8 or 9, maybe 10 car lengths down in front of Rob Mason. Then the 34 of Will Height. The top three positions 4, 5, and 6. They're bunched together. Robbie Guevara in 4th spot. Then the Robbie Rupert in 5th. Greg Haas has made up some ground on Bobby Rupert. Oh, and a loop-in car over in turn number 4. The 11 machine of Sean Budd spins again. That's the second spin for Budd. But watching the field stream past as the caution flag comes out yet again. Larry?
So anything could happen. Pace car comes in, Curtis.
Pace car making its way behind the concrete barriers, down behind the Chevrolet and Budweiser signs in the infield. Look at Rob Mason. He's got his sight set on Tyree Brown. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mason down to the inside as Brown accelerates towards turn number 1. Brown navigates turn 1 with Mason about a car length behind. He's got to be thinking Rob Mason is a real fast driver. And now Guevara looks to the inside. He makes it 3 wide down into turn number 3 as Rupert gets squeezed off between Guevara and Wilhite. Guevara still 3rd spot, goes from 5th to 3rd in 1 lap. Guevara in 3rd, looking at Rob Mason in the number 7 machine. But the Wilhite, Will is stronger as he motors past Guevara coming out of turn number 2. Wilhite holds on to 3rd spot over Robbie Guevara and Bob Rupert in 5th. Greg Haas laying back in 6th spot. At the line, it's Haas in 6th and Albright in 7th. Number of race cars stretched out coming past the line. Tyree Brown and Rob Mason glued together, separated by 2 car lengths. Mason slides up near the apex of turns 3 and 4, comes back to the line, loses about another car length to Tyree Brown, but it's Tyree Brown flying out of turn number 2, motoring down the back straightaway. Follow him around this racetrack. He enters about midway in turn number 3 and a spin. Dano wreck down in turn number 1. It's Chris Klein together with one of the Mission cars. It looks like the 11 car of Butt, Sean Butt, and that Mission Industries legend, together with Speed Racer down in turn number 1. And the cars will go back to the pit area and they'll take the sledgehammers to them and pound them out. They even cut the trunks so that when the trunks bend, they bend up. And it's quite a science demolition derby. Tyree Brown leads him to the acceleration stripe, looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tyree Brown accelerating down into turn 1, followed closely by Rob Mason in car number 7. Mason and now Guevara on the move, passes Wilhite on the inside, motors up to 3rd spot on the racetrack. Robbie sliding towards turn 4. Wilhite gets on the inside of Guevara, nearly causes a collision with Guevara. Wilhite dives down to the inside as the number 47 machine of Rupert looked to make the pass on Wilhite. They battle towards turn number 3. Surging up to even with Wilhite is Bobby Rupert. At the line, it's Wilhite by about a half a car over Bobby Rupert. Wilhite holding on to 4th spot, trying to fend off Bobby Rupert in car number 47. But up in front, it's Tyree Brown in control with less than 5 laps to go in this race. Rob Mason running in 2nd spot. Robbie Guevara firmly in control of 3rd. Back in 4th spot, it's Wilhite in the 34. 5th spot is Bobby Rupert. Now Rupert's going to be challenged by the 66 of Greg Haas as the white flag being displayed to the field as the race leader slides underneath of the flag stand. Spin over in turn number 2. It's Ralph Pangonis down on the inside, out of the way of the field. He'll have a front row seat as the field slips by that master driver in car number 95. He looks to get back underway as the 32 at Tyree Brown, the trophy dash, and now the race win in this feature. Finishing 2nd was Rob Mason in car number 7. 3rd spot goes to Robbie Guevara in the Thunderbird Electric Planet Hollywood sponsored legend. Robert Wilhite, first appearance here tonight in car number 34, finishes 4th. Bob Redfeather Rupert 5th. The 55 of Albright is 6th, and we'll go to timing and scoring for positions 7 on back. Let's go down to Mike Henley. He's in victory circle with Tyree Brown and Bobby Rupert. Mike, take it away.
Well, I'll tell you what, this fella right here is a landscaper by trade, so if you want your lawn mowed, here's the fastest landscaper in the valley. Congratulations, the trip back here, Tyree Brown, you had your hands full.
Yeah, I just want to thank Kurt Busch again for being out of town, and I think this is my first time, well, this is my first time down here, and hopefully if he goes out of town again, I'll have a chance.
So he's got that much of a run on you, I guess, huh?
He's got it.
Well, speaking of a run, that boy Mason was right after you.
Yeah, he did a little bumper cars out there, but that's part of the fun, I guess.
What do you say? Tyree Brown, congratulations, and we'll see you back again sometime.
The race car drivers can see you, so stretch your legs out as the race cars make their way down the back straightaway. Take your hat off, wave your hands in the air or your hat for the start of this race. Let's send off this field Las Vegas style. Light is out, extending the acceleration stripe. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers sure appreciate it when the fans get behind their racing endeavors. Bobby Pangonis leading them in to turn number 2. Now he's going to get passed on the inside and the outside. Dick Cobb goes to the outside. Sonny Wall down to the inside. It's Wall and Cobb. 1 and 2 at the line. Cobb leads Wall into turn number 1. Pangonis holds on to third spot, but he's challenged on the inside by the number 70 machine of Ray Hooper Jr. Your fast qualifier challenging Pangonis in the Burger King Chevrolet for third. Back to the line they come. It's Cobb, Wall, Hooper, and Mike Ray up to claim fourth spot on the track as the 96 machine fades back to fifth spot. Running in sixth, it's Jerry Spilsbury, the rookie driver Furry, running in seventh. Brent Bell, also a rookie, with driving in eighth spot. He goes down to the inside, looks to make the pass on the 05. Mike Ray looks to the inside of Ray Hooper Jr., makes it a battle for third spot on the racetrack. As they motor down the back straightaway, they're dead tie at the stripe going into 3. Coming out of 4, Mike Ray with the slight advantage over Hooper. Hooper on the outside, not giving an inch to the defending champion. They race through turns 1 and 2, following Wall and Cobb, 2 and 1 respectively. Mike Ray into 3, dives down to the inside. He's going to try to get an edge coming back to the line, but Hooper's got him at the line. Hooper in third spot, Mike Ray in 4. Top 4 break away from the field. Mike Ray holds on to 4th spot, falls back into line behind Ray Hooper Jr. But Sonny Wall glued to the bumper of the Western General Chevrolet of Dick Cobb. Cobb back at the line, not by much over Sonny Wall. Back in 5th spot, it's Bobby Pangonis. Pangonis looking for another top 5 finish. He finished in the top 5 last weekend. Would like to finish in the top 5 this weekend, I'm sure. He runs ahead of Jerry Spilsbury, Robert Furry, and Brent Bell. Al Lake running in 10th spot on the racetrack. And then Jeff Coleman and Bill Roberts round out the field. The field stretched out about halfway around this 3/8 mile oval. Larry, Dick Cobb is racing a fine race, but he's not giving an inch to Sonny Wall. Sonny Wall is glued to the bumper of the Western General Chevrolet.
Well, as we mentioned before, Curtis, that Dick Cobb had some problems with the car, trying to get the car to handle like it normally does here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and had some problems early this evening. He seems to be doing pretty well out front right now, holding off Sonny Wall, but Wall keeps trying to dip to that lower groove and loses his momentum as he goes through the turns and then down that back straightaway. But at this point, it looks like Dick Cobb's got a pretty good handle on it this evening.
Well, it's remarkable to me that the top 2 cars in this field both experienced trouble before the racing tonight. Now Al Lake getting the black flag from the starter, but Dick Cobb with some trouble earlier. Sonny Wall had some trouble with his brakes. Came out for the second practice and brakes went away in a big way. So he is definitely over those problems of early. But Al Lake's holding it down into the infield, lined up with the track exit. But Sonny Wall now lining up on the bumper of Cobb. Cobb loses traction, some heading out of turn number 4. But Wall pulls right up on the bumper of Cobb's Chevrolet. Sonny Wall, a very strong race car underneath that young race car driver. Now dives down to the inside. He's going to stuff that race car right underneath a Dick Cobb. Used Bill Roberts as a pick, and Sonny Wall can't make it work. Cobb gets around Bill Roberts. Sonny Wall lined up right behind the Western General Chevrolet as he motors down the back straightaway. But look at Ray Hooper Jr. and Mike Ray. Top 4 separated by about a car length, and a big mess on the back straightaway. Robert Furry, Brent Bell, and another race car locked up. Oh, and look at the smudge on our white painted wall on the backside. Some heavy contact back along the back straightaway. Larry?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't see exactly what had happened going through that back straightaway. I was watching the leaders up there charging for the front with Dick Cobb and the rest of those guys. And I'll tell you, but you can see where the tire marks actually took one car right up the side of the wall and right to the top edge. A little bit short down at the start-finish line, so the pace car rolls on damage on the number 16 car of Jerry Spilsbury as the Ewing Brothers towing rake brings that car down into the infield area.
He's going to have to battle Sonny Wall, Ray Hooper Jr., Mike Ray, Bob Pangonis, the top 5. 8 vehicles left on the racetrack. Cobb slows as he enters turn number 3, headed to the acceleration stripe. Looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What a jump for Cobb as Sonny Wall slides back 2 spots to 4th spot on the racetrack. Ray Hooper Jr. got a tremendous start down on the inside of Wall. Mike Ray followed in suit, and back to the line they come. It's Cobb, Hooper, Ray, Pangonis, Wall, and there's some trouble with the 26 machine of Sonny Wall. He is fading fast all the way back to 7th spot as the race leader enters turn number 3, heads back to the start-finish line. It's Dick Cobb. They got the signal that they've reached the halfway point. Now Mike Ray struggling with the steering on his race car, holding down 3rd spot on the racetrack. But the top 3 in the field, well ahead of Bobby Pangonis in 4th, Jeff Coleman in 5th, Al Lake in 6th, Bill Roberts in 7th. And the 26 machine has pulled it back to the pit area for repairs. Sonny Wall and Jerry Spilsbury, the Quality Mechanical Carrier Air Team, back in the pits. But Dick Cobb coming back to the line with Ray Hooper Jr. in tow. Mike Ray running a distant 3rd, followed by Pangonis, Jeff Coleman, and Al Lake. Bill Roberts well back in the pack as Cobb enters turn number 3. Roberts at the line. But Ray Hooper Jr. closing the gap some between himself and Dick Cobb. The Western General Chevrolet of Cobb running on a rail tonight. Last week we saw him finish 5th in the first late model main event and then come back and win the 2nd. But right now he's got a rear view mirror full of that orange machine of Ray Hooper Jr. Hooper Jr. seems to gather up Cobb as they enter the corners. Cobb's real quick off the corners and stretches out some, pulling away from the 70 machine of Hooper. Now Hooper's going to go to the outside of Cobb as Cobb lays down to the inside of the racetrack. 5 laps to go is the signal to the field at the line. We're working on lap number 21 right now, this time around. If Ray Hooper Jr. is going to catch Dick Cobb, steal this victory away from the points leader, he's going to have to do it in the next 4 laps, because here comes Cobb, Hooper, and Ray at the line. Then Bill Roberts, who's a lap down. Bob Pangonis in 4th, Jeff Coleman 5th, and Al Lake in 6th. So 7 cars remaining on the racetrack. Hooper Jr. fades some as Cobb gets a car length or more over his nearest competitor. Now make that 2 cars at the line. Cobb finishing lap number 23 the next time around as Hooper stays back about a car length or more behind the race leader. Mike Ray comfortably in 3rd spot. Mike Ray out last night with the Southwest Tour car, testing it here for the race in September. Got out of that race car, big smile on his face, but no smile will compare with Dick Cobb as he may win his 6th race in 11 starts here on the 3/8 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. White flag coming out for the race leader. Al Lake makes the move around Bill Roberts down the back straightaway, followed by Jeff Coleman. That'll be the first top 5 finish for Jeff Coleman in many, many starts here on the 3/8. Cobb into turn number 3, making his way to turn 4. If Hooper's going to do it, he'll have to do it quick. No way, says Dick Cobb. I'm going to win this one. Cobb for the checker. Then Hooper, Mike Ray in 3rd. Here comes Bobby Pangonis to finish 4th in this race. Then Al Lake 5th, Jeff Coleman is 6th. So not a top 5 finish for Jeff Coleman. Al Lake takes 5th spot away from Coleman on the last lap. Bill Roberts finishes 7th on the race. Jamie Shapiro making her way around to the assistant starter. Mike Henley with the microphone in hand. Jamie Shabira with the trophy for the race winner.
Tiff, here we are down in Victory Circle with a man who was just going to get a chat with and all of a sudden had to get running. They said the car wasn't running right, his brother told me earlier, but they apparently got it together because Dick Cobb comes home with a close win. We thought Sonny Wall was going to do something, but when we stood down and talked to Dick, he was really overheated. I think it may be what the problem is, but win number 7, I think, for the instructor from the Richard Petty driving experience as he gets out of his car and does a great job. He spends a lot of time in Victory Circle here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Really one of the nicest guys in auto racing and one of the cleanest drivers we've seen forever. What do you say? A big hand for you, Mr. Richard Cobb. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mike. I don't know how we did it. Tiny made a whole bunch of changes on the chassis since we've been here tonight. My son's been changing tires and it's been a pretty tough night. I don't know what's wrong with the old beast, but we got to look into it. She didn't like it too much tonight.
Well, I have a feeling one of these days you're going to see this kid Sonny Wall coming. He was giving you a race, and all of a sudden, sitting right there, he started to get hot.
Yeah, well, he's been getting back this week, and I expect it coming.
All right, Dick Cobb, congratulations once again, ladies and gentlemen. Man, with win number 7, he's one of the top drivers in the nation right now, Mr. Dick Cobb.
4th row inside the number 9 car of Sean Lee. Outside of Lee is your fast time qualifier. In the 39 car out of Carruthers, California, Clay Klepper. I'm sorry, that's the 39 car of Clay Charleston. Then you pick up the 36 car of West Evans, the number 2 of Greg Edenholm. Next row inside is the 52 of Jeff Heaton, the 87 of Ron Arndt, and then the final entrant, the number 12, the lady driver, Tabitha Howard.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3/4 midgets on the racetrack. 13 cars strong. They're looking for the green flag. Double greens at the start-finish line. They race down into turn number 1. The 23 machine of Chris Odo leads the field. They race 2 by 2 out of turn number 2. Mike?
Chris Odo leading Paul Kruger, but a battle going into turn 3. Oh, a slide job down into turn 3.
The 56 machine of Alex Harris on the move. He's looking for second spot on the racetrack, Mike.
And right behind him, the number 88 of Ron Wade. Those 4 have broke away from the rest of the field. And here comes Alec Harris into turn 3. Down low, makes a slide job on Chris Odo.
Right ahead of Odo slides Harris back to the line. Harris is the race leader, then Odo, then the 88 machine of Ron Wade. So the 3 cars in the field battling it out for the lead in the race. Well, the lead now belongs to Harris in the 56.
You know, you watch that turn 2 action, it appears the faster lane is on the high side out of turn 2, and out of turn 4 it appears that it's down low. You seem to get a little bit more horsepower, but Alex Harris hooked up, going to the front. He is your leader.
In second spot, the 23 machine of Odo. Odo in second, ahead of the 88 of Ron Wade. Wade in third spot, now being challenged on the inside by the 96 machine of Bobby Boone, but Boone didn't have the horses to get around the 88. Boone drops back into 4th spot. Mike?
A big battle now going down the back chute. Ron Wade takes a low line underneath of Chris Odo, and you can see the smoke where he gets on the brakes and falls back to 3rd. A battle still down the main chute.
The leader, the number 56 machine of Alex Harris, pulling away from 2nd and 3rd spot as they battle it out on the racetrack. Down the back straightaway, headed towards turn number 3, goes the 23 machine of Odo. Odo firmly in 2nd spot, ahead of the 88 of Ron Wade. Wade now looks to the outside of Odo, headed into turn number 1.
And now the 96 car, Bobby Boone, joins that front 4. Ron Wade takes a look underneath the Odo. Turn 3 action, ho! Puts the hammer down, and Ron Wade gets down underneath of Odo and makes the pass.
It's Wade at the line, running in 2nd spot by a wheel over Odo. Wade down into the inside of turn number 1, takes over 2nd spot on the racetrack. Odo in 3rd, back in 4th spot. The 96 of Boone, he watches the battle ahead of him shape up and sort itself out. Now he looks down to the low side, keeps those tires down on the white stripe between turns 3 and 4. Mike?
Running 5th is the black number 8, Paul Kruger, and then you pick up the number 39 car, trying to put it down but can't quite find the hook, is Clay Charleston.
So back to the line comes the race leader. He's got a sizable lead over the 88 machine of Ron Wade. Chris Odo in 3rd spot. Now down to the inside goes Boone. He's going to try to get up alongside the 23 machine of Odo. Odo slams the door some out of turn number 2. Now they go into turn number 3, Mike.
Greg Edenholm in the orange number 2, now into turn 4, working on the high side of Charleston, and he's reeled him in as they go into turn 1. Greg Edenholm makes the pass on Clay Charleston.
Race car stretched out all the way around this 3/8 mile oval. The first car to be passed in the field will be the 52 of Jeff Heaton. The race leader goes down to the inside. Heaton will have a front row seat for the race as the leader streams by. Now it goes to the low side, the 88 machine of Ron Wade. Wade streams past Heaton down the back straightaway. The yellow flag out on the track as the USAC officials wisely throw the yellow. Some activity out in the infield, perhaps some debris up in turn 1 or 2. Mike, as we get ready for the restart, it'll be Wade on the tail of the race leader Harris. Harris, Wade, and then the number 23 machine of Chris Odo. So we'll take a look at them as they head towards turn number 4, Mike.
Brian Howard, your starter, looks them over, nose to tail, we go green. Little contact into turn 4 and a slide job, Bobby Boone, a quick start. And he's trying to move up one position, now underneath Odo, and can't hold the handle down into turn 2.
Odo slams the door out of turn number 2 on Boone. Boone drops back to 4 spot. Up on his bumper, the 0 machine of...
That's the orange number 2 of Greg Edenholm, running 5th right now, has joined the front 5, and the track condition seems like it's come to his setup right now as the tires have worn in a little bit.
He's reeling in Boone down the back straightaway, closes within about a car length and a half of Boone in 4 spot. Here's the race leader Harris at the line, then the 88 machine of Ron Wade, the 23 of Odo, the top 3 in the field. Mike?
Greg Edenholm, oh mama, putting the mustard on the doggy out of turn 2, makes the pass up to 4th, getting by the number 96 car of Bobby Boone.
At the line comes the race leader. He's got the number 88 machine of Wade by about 2 car lengths at the line. But the 88 machine is holding on tight out of turn number 2, now down the back straightaway. The 3 cars locked together for positions 3 on back. The number 2 machine of Edenholm in 3rd spot. Now making a move to the inside is Odo, and Boone down on the inside of Odo, headed towards turn number 1, Mike.
15 down, 5 to go. Boone got a hold of the number 2, Greg Edenholm, as he came off turn 4 and upset the rhythm. But I tell you what, turn 4 action, 3 abreast.
Out of turn number 4 comes Boone. He's trying to get an advantage on Edenholm in the number 2 machine. That battle for 3rd spot raging as the leader and his nemesis, his competitor, head out of turn number 4 back to the line. It's Harris and the 88 of Wade. Wade's not giving an inch, Mike.
Move over flag given to the number 8 of Paul Kruger. He wisely opened the door for your front 2 leaders to come in. Greg Edenholm has worked himself up from way in the back, currently running 3rd. Bobby Boone 4th. Heavy action off turn 4.
Out of 4 comes the number 2 machine of Edenholm. He's in 3rd spot, then Odo, then Boone in 5th. But the race at the front of the pack between the 56 machine of Alex Harris sorting itself out as the 88 machine of Ron Wade drops back about 3 car lengths. The white flag out for the race leader this time around, Mike.
2 more corners, 3 more corners now for Alex Harris. Greg Edenholm way back there in a strong 3rd. And he'll probably settle in there, but your battle right now off turn 4, Alex Harris, Ron Wade, and the winner's going to be Alex Harris.
Ron Wade 2nd. The battle for 3rd will be won by Edenholm at the line. Then the 23 of Odo and 96 Boone finishing 5th.
Very good respective order for that young 16-year-old, and he was just barely 5th as he was underneath of Odo, but couldn't make the pass. Unbelievable. TQs, your current points leader, takes the main event, the 56 car, Alex Harris.
Alex Harris on his way down to victory circle. The driver of car number 56, your trophy dash winner and the main event winner here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway's 3/8 mile paved oval.
All right, down here in the winner's circle with the winner of the TQs, the number 56 car, Alex Harris. Alex, nice job.
Thank you. The West Valley Grinding Vesco Suzuki is just running great tonight. We had just set right off the trailer.
I tell you what, that Vesco Suzuki, this thump, you could hear when you came down the straightaway. You were the class actor tonight. What seemed to be the difference between your car and, say, the rest of them?
I think our car is a little more hooked up than the rest of them tonight. I could hear the turns a little bit faster and come out a lot more faster than they did.
You know, it appeared to me watching you from the top side up there that looked like your car was working good on the bottom and the top.
Yeah, at the beginning of the race, the car was working great, but towards the end, I started losing the right rear tire and it started coming out on me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice to come onto the asphalt to make a victory here. This is your 5th victory, I believe, of 1997, and maintain that current points lead.
Sure is. This track was great. I just liked it tonight.
So you can take some of that winnings down to the slot machine and pull a couple handles now, Alex?
It'd be nice if I got the winnings, but it goes back into the business and pays for the race car.
There you go, our winner here tonight, and still the current points leader, Alex Harris. Alex, we look for you in the next winner's circle.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Here they come out of turn number 2. They're 4x4 all the way back to the back. You see this in the World of Outlaws. Now you're going to see it tonight here at Las Vegas. USAC Midgets on the track at Las Vegas. The skies are clear. The bright lights in the distance, but all the action's right here on the 3/8 at Las Vegas. Checkered flag fly. Wave your hands, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers can see you. They're waving back to you. Thunder USAC, Thunder in the Desert, 2001 on the system. We're booming and breaking the sound down.
That's an old cagey veteran. You can watch him come off turn 4. He should take the early lead as they dip deep into turn 1.
The field is set. The pace car peels off to the infield. The cars head towards the acceleration stripe. My, got some goosebumps. We're going racing USAC style in Las Vegas.
Pancratz down low off turn 2 is your leader as Skeeton jumped up high. We're going to come back on to yellow. Brian Howard apparently did not like this start as they and our hats off to him if he can pull this one off. He's starting way back in the 5th row. Lights out, Brian Howard looking him off, and we go racing.
Green flag racing as they thunder down the front straightaway, headed towards turn number 1. The number 31 of Pancratz out in front as they motor down the back straightaway, headed towards turn number 3. It's Pancratz ahead of the field, back to the start-finish line. Mike?
The number 12 of Rick Hendricks, now muscle moves up to 2nd. Clay Klepper running 4th, down low as he gets underneath the 4th place runner.
Back to the start-finish line comes the number 31 machine of Wally Pancratz. Now down to the inside goes the 12 of Rick Hendricks. Rick Hendricks is going to dive down to the inside, try to squeeze that race car. Slices off Pancratz. Following in suit is the 69 machine of Clay Klepper. Clay Klepper is going to try to steal away 2nd from Pancratz back to the line. Mike?
Oh boy, what a battle ensuing up front. Wally Pancratz takes a look underneath of Clay Klepper. Turn 2 action. Pulls that left front tire off the surface. Jimmy Screeton running 4th. Now back to 5th.
Around out of turn number 4 came the number 51 machine of Mark DeBeaumont. Mark DeBeaumont moves 2 spots to grab 4th spot on the racetrack. Mike?
And the number 33 of Scott Hansen also running that big, thick battle as they come into turn 4. A battle for 6th on the track.
The 03 machine of J.J. Erksey back in the field, looking real strong. Now a spin up in turn number 1. Cars up against the wall as nobody could avoid what happened down in turn number 1. Let's get the eyeglasses out. Oh, this is number 2 machine of Doug DeWitt screeches to a halt, avoiding the collision, but it looks like he is stalled on the racetrack.
Also involved is the number 51 of Mark DeBeaumont and the number 75 of Ricky Shelton, the current points leader. Oh boy, that could hurt his point structure. He came in tonight's event just 11 points above your current leader, the number 12 of Rick Hendricks.
The number 12 machine of Rick Hendricks, driver out of Simi Valley, California, in the top spot. Running in 2nd spot, the 69 of Clay Klepper, the track record holder. He's the guy that I picked earlier, and we'll see if we can get a Budweiser up to the tower at the
Jim Silva. Then you find the number 75 car who made it back out on the track. That is Ricky Shelton. And then you find the number 3, of course, of Sleepy Trip, and then the 0 of Steve Payton. Lights out, we're looking to go green. Curtis, take us into the green.
Here we go, out of turn number 4 comes the 12 machine of Rick Hendricks. He's got the green flag in the sights. We're back to racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Down into turn number 1 goes Hendricks. He's got Clay Klepper on his backside. Klepper accelerates out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. He chases Hendricks down into turn number 3. Mike?
Then you pick up Wally Pancratz. Right on Pankratz's bumper is Scott Hansen and then Shane Scully. They made a little contact in a turn 4 between Hansen and Scully.
The number 67 moves to the inside of Scully. Now the yellow flag coming out again. Car up on the high side, heading into turn number 3.
And that is the number 3 car, Sleepy Trip, having problems as the fire crew quickly over there and try to push him clear of the racing surface. And he's been known for a quick takeoff as he sets his eyes on the back bumper of Clay Klepper. We're coming out of turn 4 and we go green.
Rick Hendricks again with a great start. Klepper's on the backside. Pancratz running into 31 machine. Lifts the wheel coming out of turn number 2 as the number 33 machine. Make that Scott Hansen. He looked like he was closing fast on the 31 of Pancratz. Hansen running very strong in spot number 4 on the racetrack. The 56 machine of Scully right behind Hansen as they motor down the back straightaway. Mike?
Scully's going to take the high side and he makes a pass coming out of turn 4 but can't hold it. Scott Hansen had a good push coming off of turn 4 and runs back into 4th as Clay Klepper takes a look underneath it. Rick Hendricks says he exited turn 2.
The 67 machine made the move for 5th spot. That's Chad Nichols. Nichols made a move to the low side, stealing 5th spot away from the 56 of Scully. Scully back in 6th spot on the racetrack. Looks to the inside of the 67, but the 67 slams the door out of turn number 2. Boy, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions bunched up back to the start-finish line. Mike?
The number 75 car, Ricky Shelton, right all over the backside of Scully. Turn 2 action right now. The 75 car current points leader, and he was involved in that accident at turn 1, and he is trying to push up and get past Shane Scully.
Hendricks and Klepper at the line. Then the 31 of Wally Pancratz running in 3rd spot. The battle behind Pancratz features the 67 machine of Chad Nichols. Nichols holding on to 4th spot over the 33 of Scott Hansen. They're lined up nose to tail. The 56 of Scully looks to the outside of Hansen as they motor past the front straightaway. Hansen running up on about the middle of the racetrack. Opening up the door for the number 75 machine of Shelton. Shelton laying back as Hansen yields on the outside to Scully in the 56. Mike?
Side by side into turn 1. Oh, slight contact between Hansen and Scully. Scully puts the hammer down, gets a little bit better RPM going into turn 3.
Here comes the leader to the line. That's Rick Hendricks in the number 12 machine. Then Clay Klepper's laying back in 2nd spot, running in 3rd. The 67 of Chad Nichols. Then Wally Pancratz in the 31 and Scully in the 56. That's the top 5. Mike?
Scully now starting to get on the high side of Pancratz coming out of turn 4, drops back down to the inside as he enters into turn 1. Pancratz able to hold him off. Right in front of Pancratz is the 67 of Chad Nichols, and he is doing a fine job, currently running 4th.
Jim Silva in the 19, the first car to be lapped in the field. They'll have a front row seat for the battle between Hendricks and Kleppers. Hendricks by about 10 car lengths over Kleppers. Hendricks pulling away from him down the back straightaway. Kleppers running in 2nd spot, comfortably in 2nd, watching Hendricks up at the front of the pack.
Steve Payton in the Gold's number 0 car. Oh boy, there goes your 3rd place runner. Chad Nichols getting underneath the lap traffic, the number 19 car of Jim Silva.
Back in 4th spot, it's Wally Pancratz. Scully looking to the outside of Pancratz yet again as they come back to the line. Pancratz running down to the low side, opens up the door for Scully, but then coming up the track back to the line, Pancratz slams the door. Scully hanging back in 5th spot behind Wally Pancratz, coming back to the start-finish line.
Scully tried to get on the exit coming out to make the high side. And couldn't make the pass. Now he's working down on the back of the turn number 2. Pancratz makes a nice stick into turn 3, but Scully goes deeper, comes on the high side out of turn 4 and can't put the mustard on the doggy.
Up at the front of the pack, it's Rick Hendricks. In 2nd, Clay Kleppers. Then the 67 machine of Chad Nichols in 3rd spot. The battle on the track continues to wage between the 31 of Pancratz and the 56 of Scully. Scully gets a good bite off of the corner, tries to muscle it to the outside of Pancratz, can't make the pass yet again.
Pancratz very cagey as they come into the turn one. He closes the door, and if Scully wants him, Pancratz is trying to tell him, you got to go to the high side, and every time he gets into turn four, that's where he tries it.
Scully goes to the outside of Pancratz, back to the line, out of turn number 2 the last time around. Scully gave him a little tap on the bumper. We'll see if he can do it again. Now Scully to the inside of Pancratz. They muscle down the front straightaway. It was a drag race down to turn number 3. Scully gets a little bit loose as Pancratz tries to get around Scully. No way. Scully's got the spot.
Well, I tell you what, Scully dropped to the inside and got off the racing surface, and Pancratz followed him, and now Scully is in front of Pancratz.
Here comes the race leader down the back straight. A little contact back there between Ricky Shelton in the 75. Now a car pulling up down into turn 4, and the yellow flag comes out yet again. Mike? Yellow caution on the Speedway. The 33 machine of Scott Hansen pulls up lame in turn number 4. He's getting some assistance from the track safety crew up at the track entrance, but that is going to bunch things back up in a big way. Mike? Cars making their way through turns 3 and 4, headed back to the stripe, looking for the green flag. The green flag flies over Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Klepper bobbled a little bit coming off turn 4. The 67 car took a look at him, but just couldn't get the RPM to come up, so they stay as they restarted. Shane Scully currently 5th on the track, Steve Payton 6th.
Back to the line comes the race leader Hendricks, followed by Kleppers. The 67 machine of Chad Nichols in 3rd spot. Wally Pancratz, that cagey veteran, holding on to 4th spot over Scully in the 56. Then the number 0 machine of Steve Patton on the racetrack, holding down 6th spot. Ricky Shelton back in 7th on the track, coming back to the line. The number 21 machine of Richard McCormick looks to the inside of Shelton, tries to make the pass, cannot make it work. Shelton is very wide coming out of turn number 2.
Chad Nichols into turn 4 in the red 67, starting to reel your second place runner, Clay Klepper, right now. Gets up to the back bumper as they enter into turn 1. Shane Scully also working on Wally Pancratz turn 2 action.
2 and 3 bunch together, coming around out of turn number 4, back to the line. It's Kleppers in the 69, running about 2 car lengths in front of Chad Nichols. Chad Nichols will try to reel him in some down the back straightaway. No way. Kleppers pulling ahead, got plenty of horses under the hood tonight.
Oh boy, turn 3 action. That's where Shane Scully got underneath Wally Pancratz, and Wally takes the turn and gives it right back to him into turn 1, but he gets a little loose. Oh, Pancratz loses a handle into turn 2.
Almost took out Steve Payton up in turn number 2. Payton got on the brakes. You could see the tires squeal as Wally Pancratz sits disabled up in turn number 2. Boy, it was a heartbeat.
Curtis lights are out with 2 laps to go. Coming out of turn 4, looking for a restart. Hendricks, your leader. We go green.
Hendricks motors down the front straightaway. He's not going to give up any track to the 69 of Clay Klepper. Klepper holds on to 2nd spot over Chad Nichols. Nichols on the bumper of Kleppers down the back straightaway. This is the white flag lap coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the race leader, Hendricks, back to the line, followed by Kleppers, Nichols, the 56 of Scully, and the 0 of Steve Payton. Mike?
Wally Pancratz made a move on Rich McCormick. Now he's back up to 7th. Only 8 cars remaining. 2 corners for your leader, Rich Hendricks.
Double checkered for the race winner. The number 12 machine of Rick Hendricks, Simi Valley, California driver. He takes the victory in Las Vegas. Finishing in 2nd spot, the 69 of Clay Kleppers, the driver from Carruthers, California, in 2nd spot on the racetrack. Then the number 67 machine of Chad Nichols. Nichols out of Madera, California, finishes 3rd.
And then 4th, of course, unofficially goes the 56 of Shane Scully. But oh, what a battle royale as we take your... Whoa, look out Payton as he makes his pass through.
And you won't want to miss the Demolition Derby following the conclusion of racing that night. Also want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, the pit gates will open immediately following the conclusion of the ceremonies down in the front straightaway. Mike Henley's down there with our winner.
All right, down here in the winner's circle right now with the USAC Midgets, number 12 car, Rick Hendricks. Rick, what a job well done.
Yeah, you know, the car was good, and you know, when the car's working good, it makes it easier, and I got to thank my crew for all their hard work, and we were just a good night for us.
It was an awesome night. I tell you what, you had a hard charge coming on the backside with the 69 car, Clay Klepper. but you kept the door closed all night long. You see 3 or 4 different challenges, but you never looked back. It just seems like it was your night.
Well, yeah, I knew he was there, and I was just trying to keep the car down so he couldn't sneak underneath me like what happened last time I was here, and it just worked out.
You know, you run on asphalt, you run on dirt. Which is your favorite?
I like them both. I like them both equally. I don't want to do just one of either one. I want to do a little bit of both.
And of course, that's what's great about USAC Midgets. They run asphalt and dirt. You get that opportunity. This posting your second main event win for 1997. Where do you go from here?
You mean which race are we going?
Yeah, which racetrack?
We go to Lincoln, Nebraska, and then to Belleville, Kansas.
Oh, you are going to run to Belleville, Kansas?
Yeah, that's a USAC race, and we're going to go.
Excellent. I tell you what, I heard in the booth as we passed Dick Heineman that you took the points lead by 2 points. What do you think about that?
Well, I didn't know that, but you know, we're only about halfway, so I'm not really thinking about it too much. We're just trying one race at a time and see what happens.
Well, you know, maybe that kind of attitude come in a little more relaxed, a little more laid back, affords you that monumental championship drive that you put on for us tonight.
Well, maybe. You know, I don't know. We just, you know, I was just trying to save the tires and make sure we were fast at the end, just like we were in the beginning.
All right, how about a big hand here for our champion here tonight, Rick Hendricks. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
All right, nice drive. All right, here we are talking to the 69 car, Clay Klepper out of Carruthers, California. Clay, what a marvelous race you put on here tonight.
Yeah, we ran pretty good. The car was working good all night, and we almost had a clean sweep, but we come up a little short there in the feature.
Not real sure. I tell you what, finishing up second behind, of course, the winner, Rick Hendricks. You were in the hunt all night long, battling there for quite a while with, of course, the 31 car of Wally Pankratz. And then he faded away and started battling Shane Scully, but you were up front with Rick Hendricks the entire evening.
Yeah, Rick was pretty fast. I got underneath him and passed him actually, and coming out of 2 there, and he got some oil dry, and the yellow flag come out, so it was kind of misfortunate, but we put a pretty good race on. We developed a little push there later in the race, and so everything from there was history. It was pretty nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, you advanced, of course. We caught you a couple years ago running the Mini Wing Sprint 1200 cc's, and now you're running this full-size midget. How does it feel? What's the big difference there? Yeah, obviously power-wise.
Yeah, the horsepower is a pretty big difference, but it's not really that. It's really not having the wing on top and running without a wing going in the corners and not being able to pin on the downforce. You really have to work on your setup, and you're running with a lot bigger bunch of guys. I mean, these guys, they don't mess up, so you got to be right there.
Well, I know you didn't mess up here tonight. The front 4 was clean all night long, but your crew did a marvelous job on your setup with your suspension. What are you running for a power plant?
We run the Gertie motor and running the Stealth chassis, and Seed Services Incorporated, Magini Hay Company, Santa Fe Farms, all our sponsors behind us, and now we're on our way up back to Indianapolis to run on some shows at IRP. So yeah, the crew did a good job tonight. I'm real proud of them. They did good.
I tell you what, you did a really marvelous job. I think you came in 5th in the point structure here tonight, finishing up 2nd. That ought to move you up a couple of spots.
Yeah, we gained a lot having fast time, winning the dash and winning the heat race. So hopefully everything will work out pretty good.
You know, most of the races you guys perform on, I'd say probably 2/3 is on the clay, dirt ovals, the balance of the racing on the asphalt. I'll ask you the same question I did Hendricks. Running on dirt and asphalt, which do you enjoy the most?
Well, I'm supposed to be predominantly a dirt driver, but I'm enjoying asphalt a little bit more now. I've always run good on asphalt. I've taken to it real easy. It's a lot tougher to pass on asphalt. It's exciting to do slide jobs and blow in the corners at 100 and some odd miles an hour, but to really focus, if you want to go anywhere in racing, you got to be good at asphalt, and so I'm kind of leaning towards liking asphalt better now.